Well, let's see. So, today we're going to talk about stress, stress, stress. I don't know. So, I just described stress or said the word in three different ways. So, maybe you can find yourself on that continuum. You're either like, I'm not stressed at all, or I'm kind of stressed, or I'm stressed, or I'm stressed. So, most of us probably are falling somewhere along the way there. A little stress, a lot of stress, not at all stressed. And like everything else in the world, the extremes are extreme and minorities of extremely stressed people or who think everything is stressful and people who are not stressed at all. Okay? But I had this interesting experience at the supermarket. And I talk about these things because I have come to realize that humor is everything. Like, if I'm not learning to laugh at things happening around me and things happening within me and to stop taking myself so bloody seriously, I can't make it. I'll get stressed out about everything. I'll overanalyze everything. I'll create problems for myself. I'll be looking for everybody to like help solve my problems, and then I'll ignore their advice and suggestions and create more of my own problems and la 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 la. So I'm at the supermarket. These supermarket self-checkouts, they have like, you beep and then you put the stuff down. So this particular scale, whatever platform where you put the stuff down, kept malfunctioning. Like, I had a kiwi that rolled off, and then I put it back on the on top of the avocado, and then that tried to roll off, and every time I picked it up and put it back on, I was getting an error message, that required the cashier to come fix it, that something had appeared on the bagging area that I didn't put there. Unexpected item in the bagging area. Please stand by. So this happened once. It happened twice. I picked up the kiwi. I put it one place. I put it on top of the spinach. I put it on top of the avocado. The avocado rolled off. Anyway, you get the picture. It's just one of those things that I'm talking about it now and it's hysterical. But the third time that it happened, I started to feel this feeling in my chest of like, oh, what the fuck? Like, where there's this thing, like, it's almost as if some energy starts of impatience or stress where my mind actually starts making the kiwi rolling off the bagging area about me and about how nothing goes right, or why is this happening, or I don't have time for this stupid nonsense, or some other version of just this idiotic incident being all about some issue of mine. And so by the third time, as I could feel this like thing happening in my chest, I just started to laugh, because there's no way out except to laugh about stuff like this. And so I'm not expecting you to analogize the kiwi, avocado, spinach bagging area thing that I'm explaining to greater stresses in your life. And yet you can. Because a tool is a tool is a tool is a tool. And little stresses and big stresses, see, the feeling of stress comes from a fight or flight response that is actually normal and natural. But the thing is that what's unnatural is that I, and a lot of people around me, have this fight or flight response as if something dangerous is chasing us when the kiwi falls off the bagging area. And it's just doesn't have to be that way. And we also have a more modern way of dealing with life called humor, called understanding. We're so evolved as humans. I mean, we know so much about behavior. I mean, most of us have been in self-help programs or gone for, religious healing or coaching or therapy or some other form of trying to investigate who we are, how we are, what we think, what it looks like. And yet around me, I still see people that if you meet them in the professional world or one-on-one, they come across as like very confident. And then you get a little bit closer and they're obsessed with their bodies. They're obsessed with this idea that they should be less anxious than they are. And yet they don't even really know how to practice simple tools of calming techniques when they start feeling the little bit of anxiety. So that's what I'm dealing with. What I'm talking about is nipping this stuff in the butt when it's just about the kiwi, and then learning how to use that same thing for something that's bigger, right? Because I want to be able to take a deep breath and have a laugh about the kiwi. And I'd like to also do something like that or something similar when I have a bigger problem that's a lot more emotional and a lot more difficult for me. I want to be able to step back and take a breath. I want to be able to find the humor, because there is humor in just about everything. And if there isn't, you haven't looked hard enough. I mean, except in extreme cases of like extreme, grief, extreme, but sometimes even in grief, I've had more than a few people die, and sometimes a bunch of us just sat around and talked about how funny they were and retold some of their jokes and had a good old time remembering how much we love them. Love heals everything. Humor is the icing on the cake. I mean, it doesn't get any better than laughter and love. So in those moments of stress, if you could just find a way to take a breath, stop, pull back, and just see yourself from outside of yourself and have a little bit of a laugh about your reaction. I don't know. I think things might start going a little bit better for you, for all of us. So hopefully that's helpful for today. And thanks for joining me. I hope you have a great day.